This vast land has a population of little more than 2.5 million. Its people are the proud and hospitable descendants of the race that, together with Genghis Khan, conquered the biggest empire the world has ever known. Here nature is harsh, wild and windswept. Generations have learnt to approach it with courage and respect. This is Mongolia, the land of blue skies, and a vast tableland wedged between the two giants, Russia and China. The average altitude is 1,600 meters. Short and ever drier summers are followed by very long icy winters. More recently, temperatures have fallen to more than 50 degrees below zero. Nearly all the population are Tibetan Buddhists, despite the partial suffocation of religious traditions with the massacre of monks, the destruction of monasteries over past decades, and an atheistic education imposed by the communist regime. Up to 1989, the Mongol Empire was sustained by the Soviet giant. Today, it is moving towards rapid modernization, but the change from the socialist system to a free market has left the country isolated and without resources, in the grip of poverty and devaluation. It is estimated that about 100,000 young children are forced to work illegally in coal mines, sheep rearing, and in the black market. Unemployment, alcoholism, and family breakups are scourges affecting more and more of the population, which, despite everything, tries to hold on to its values and its dignity. Over the past few winters, cold and drought have killed millions of livestock, the only source of sustenance for many nomad families. These then have to go into the city in search of what they need to survive. One-third of the country's population is in the capital, Ulaanbaatar. Huge housing blocks from the communist area are surrounded by ever-growing suburbs with no planning. Gers are the traditional Mongol circular felt tents. Here we find those who have left the wide open spaces of nomad life in the hope of a better life for themselves and their children.
2001 оны 8 сарын 20-нд орж ирсэн манай.
We moved into the city to give our 4 children some future because there is no hope living in the country. In the country, we were able to live thanks to the animals, but we lost all our livestock because of the drought. My husband has a lung disease. He has already been operated on. Even though my husband is ill, he tries to work outside repairing TVs and radios in the hope of feeding the family and helping our children. My son and I are looking for work, but sometimes we do not even have money for the bus fare. I do not want our children to give up studying because we are poor. Our children need education if they are to have a future. number of street children is ever on the increase. In Ulaanbaatar, 5,000, possibly 10,000 homeless children fight for survival. They have run away from family situations of violence and alcoholism. Now they feed on refuse and hide in basements and narrow, suffocating hovels where heating pipes help them at least resist the frost of the coldest capital in the world. In 1991, the government of Mongolia was faced with so many complex problems that it asked the Catholic Church to help, recognizing it is committed to young people and the poor. This meant working in a nation that for 70 years had shut the doors to the gospel, and where no local communities or structures existed. At long last, it was possible to bring Christ to Mongolia, to bring the poor news of fresh hope. Among the various congregations that generously set themselves to serve the least in society were the Salesians, who have been there now for 3 years. To give the young people of Ulaanbaatar hope, they opened a technical school, an oratory and a house that has more than 70 street children in gers and communal buildings.
The Salesians of Don Bosco arrived here in 2001, and the rest of the community were assembled after 6 months in September of 2001. After that time, the Salesians already have worked with the young of Mongolia in expressing the desire of the church to give its services to these underprivileged or even those disadvantaged of society. Among the many responsibilities that is asked of the Salesians, the church, the local church here in Mongolia, requested really the presence of the Salesians for the education of the young, especially those who find it difficult to go to high school, who complete a high school program, people who fail to do a university degree. These are the people so much in society that are neglected.
I'm Salesian from Korea. 3 years ago, I worked in this project. So I met children, the poor boy, and then in this situation of Mongol, and they carried the free from community society. So many the broken family and the street boys without the house, so without food, and without and the school. So I collecting the boys. Now I living with the boys. Also, it is possible to give the situation, circumstance. So I would like to take care of well. This place, I would like to making the paradise for the news.
In a climate of ecumenism and brotherliness, it has been possible to contribute to building a Christian community in Mongolia. It is beginning to bear fruit. The first 3 missionaries have grown to about 50 religious presences from all over the world, and there are about 300 local Catholics. Today, in the middle of the gers of Ulaanbaatar, you will also find a cathedral.
We have now a very good church for a cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul, and it gives also a boost to our presence here of the Catholic Church mission. Many people say it's a very big construction, but in fact it's only the ger structure that is for the church. The other places underneath the church are for clinic and pharmacy, for library and study hall for the people, students nearby. We have a kindergarten for the very poor children. We have social works. We have office for the research, Mustard Center, and we have also the residence of the priests who are manning or running the parish. So with these developments, I think in the last 2 years, the church has gained again stability in our presence and in putting up really a real Christian community in Ulaanbaatar and also in the other parts of Mongolia.
60% of Mongolia's population is under the age of 30. Since the Salesians work to provide education and service, they have undertaken to extend the range of their activities to the country's second largest city, Dakhan, only 100 kilometers from the border with Siberia.
Missions of Mongolia was attached to Don Bosco, Vietnam province. This is the first time I come here as provincial. I see many things to do. For example, yesterday I have signed the contract, the agreement with the local ordinary, which is the bishop, about the Dakhan. Is also a part of the Mongolia is entrusted to Don Bosco. I feel proud of the belief, of the confidence of the local ordinary. But I feel also the challenges for us to do good works for these missions. For example, you see the young here, the homeless children here, they are rather numerous. In Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia, even in Dakhan. Therefore, there are many works for the Salesians to do here in Mongolia. We cooperate with the local church to evangelize, to build up the church, the local church, and to educate the young people.
Abbiamo scelto Mongolia come il soggetto per la giornata mondiale.
They chose Mongolia as the subject for next year's World Day. First of all, because it is a new mission frontier. We have been here for only 3 years, and in these 3 years the confreres have done much to establish and start the work. Now we want to give it a big push and let the whole Salesian world know what our confreres are doing and their future prospects. There are various challenges. First of all, there is enculturation, learning the language, the mentality, and serving young people, particularly those who are in desperate need. The second challenge is to evangelize, and for this we have just signed a contract with the bishop to evangelize a complete area called Dakhan Selinje. And we hope that our confreres who come in the future can make this mission a truly Salesian mission and help the church grow here.
E aiutare la crescita della Chiesa qui.
The young people are Mongolia's future. If they are helped to become the authors of their own life, with their commitment and enthusiasm, they will know how to build a better tomorrow. My name is Borku. I am a student in first-year car mechanics. I was not able to finish my secondary schooling, and I joined this school. I have studied many new things that I could not have studied in secondary school. So, I want to thank those people who helped me study here. Thank you for giving a hand and for having listened to us students and been willing to hear the story of our lives. My name is Helen, and I live in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia. I am one of the first girl students in Don Bosco. I wanted to become a dressmaker, and my dream came true when I enrolled in this school. When I finish, I am thinking of going to infant school teachers college. I want to help poor children who cannot go to school. My life before this was very hard. I had to work in the market because I had to help my mother and feed my smaller brothers. Our school helps many poor young people who did not finish their secondary schooling and haven't had a chance to study. There are many young people like me who want to help their families. They leave home because of family problems. They are delighted to get the chance of studying in this school. I want to help young people like Don Bosco did. The hospitality, enthusiasm and generosity with which these young people are taking up what Don Bosco has to offer are the confirmation of just how much his charism is still alive and still manages to talk to the hearts of young people in every corner of the globe.